prisoners are halfway through their meal, suddenly had a bold idea. The guard didn't notice it here. He quietly put the spoon on the sole of his shoe and rubbed it back until he gets dirty. After the two swagger to the front desk, my partner is deliberately talking to the prison guard. Seeing each other's attention successfully attracted, the man quickly took the opportunity to drive away. But no one found out that he actually took two. But trying to escape with just a spoon, not enough. He needed to make better tools. The next day, he spent 20 desserts. Let a well-versed old prisoner. The criminal got himself some auxiliary supplies. When everything is ready, the man first breaks the spoon into 2 sections, then remove the nail clippers, grind the coin into powder with the rubbing knife above, then light, and he was able to weld very quickly. Got a handy tool. Now it was time for the experiment. He asked his companion next to him, the guard, to look out for the wind. Remind yourself that there is a ventilation duct in the cell. He had submerged part of it with his fingernails, but it didn't work very well, so I made a princess again. It is indeed much more convenient than nail clippers. But just as he was chiseling, the guards suddenly came to check the room. The companion on the side became sleepy, running away from another black intentionally prisoner. Talking to the royal police. He just woke up. Getting ready. Consequences would be unimaginable. Fortunately, the guards didn't notice. After he leaves, the man reminds his companions to be safe, and so we started chiseling. It took a while. He found that the trending fence had latches blocking it. You need to find a tool to get the gas out. The next day, he was on his way to the carpentry shop. While Tamai is not paying attention, the dregs down, all out of my pocket. Then I made a wooden shoe inside, ready to use it to take out and blow up the latches. But how do you escape the inspection of metal detector? Finally, the guards took the wooden scorpion away. But in fact, he hid one under the sole of his shoe. The first one is just a pretense. The man stuck sawdust on the latch. Then you just need to pedal away. Then the iron grid. The bar was so easily taken off by him. Immediately and he kind of pops his head out. And there were all kinds of pipes. There should be a way out along these pipes. But it's not enough to escape. They also need to come up with a more detailed plan. First, and that was how to dodge a surprise inspection. Once they found out that the ventilation duct had been gouged, the consequences are unimaginable. The second is how to avoid being discovered by early warning. The wise man quickly figured out a way. That is to find some paint and newspapers. Draw what the iron fence of the vent looks like, then block it with something. As for how to avoid rounds, it's even easier. Make a fake head out of newspaper and put it on the bed. In the absence of light, they have a hard time telling the truth. But there's a more troublesome thing. The prison was built on an island. After escaping, how to get through the strait in front of you. While another companion works in a barbershop, can get some hair. The passage on the man's side has been opened. The next step is for him to cover the other 3 to cut their respective ventilation ducts. The next day, my partner got his hair, and Charlie also successfully applied to the prison guard for the original. It's just a newspaper now. Fortunately, inmates are allowed to read books every day. He asked the person in charge of the newspaper that manages the little dark. Then he became an iron scumbag. After coloring with paint, it's totally doable. Fake for real. Just in case, he decided to explore first. After drilling in through the vent, he immediately started climbing up the pipe. That's when the guards came to check the room. Charlie quickly tapped on the railing to remind, thought he could continue climbing, but found an iron gate blocking the way. He jumped up as hard as he could and couldn't reach before he can figure it out. Even if there is an extra piece of metal on the prison, early warnings must be held accountable to the satisfying prison escape. But the solutions are better than the difficulties. It was in instrument class the next day. The man accidentally discovered there is an engine in the classroom, but no drills and no wires. So he asked the old baller for help again. The price is his future. All desserts must be given to each other. But there's just one problem. How to be in front of an early warning. What about taking the engine? After doing all this, and John down below handed the steel pipe. The man used this steel pipe to pry open the railing because he needs to get to the other side to continue the next head. Sound that can be made, but it attracted the attention of the warning below. But both are still immersed in their work. There was no sense of danger. With the help of an electric drill, the metal cover soon came loose. Fortunately, he just stopped when the warning came. The warning below thought it was a mistake, turned around and went back. Now everything is ready. All we need is a life jacket and a life-saving method. The companion said it would be ready on Tuesday. I see hope in sight. But the T-Ridge on the side began to retreat. He was afraid that the guards would catch him. Men can only comfort him. Express your confidence in leading everyone to escape. But on this day, something special happened in prison. Warden accidentally throws fingernail clippers during ward to his cell. So he asked the guard next to him to open the cell door. Right before and after he retrieved his accidentally discovered the portrait that the prisoner had. He suddenly felt insulted. They immediately ordered someone to deprive the other party of it. So he got 99 years. At his age, it's impossible to live to the day you get out because of a painting taken away their only hobby. This day he was quietly in the man's pocket, stuffed with one thing. Then it's like the prison guard applied for an axe. Expressed that you want to make a table. The next second, he was right in front of them. He cut off his own, and he was taken away by force. The man cleaned up his broken finger for him. Then he felt his pocket and found a flower inside. This is coming from the other side of the island. It symbolizes freedom. Dao Shield believes that he will be able to escape and regain his freedom. And he will always take this flower with him. Remember when I first came to this prison cell? He takes good care of himself. But on this day, the warden found this flower. Prisoners are not allowed to grow flowers and plants here. They had to act fast. Otherwise, once we separate later, there will be no chance. The companion has already sent the required items. He decided to act tonight, because I've explored the road before, so it's pretty smooth ahead. But at this critical moment, Charlie didn't choose to follow because he was afraid. Because if the jailbreak fails and gets caught, he'll face a brutal death penalty. He was afraid to gamble. It's not good for men to say more. He has no way out. When the prison guards come to check the room, all I saw was that they were already lying on the bed, but it didn't discover that it was a dummy lying on it. And Charlie on the other side is crying alone, and the officer kind of shakes his head. It happens in prison. At this moment, 3 people on the other side have already boarded. Soon the 3 of them climbed over the iron towards the periphery of the prison. Soon they came to a forest, crossed the road ahead and reached the sea. They took out the valve and blew it up. With the concerted efforts of the 3 Pegasus soon, the next thing you need to do is put on a life jacket. Just get on the life valve and cross the strait, although the biting water made them shiver. But freedom lies ahead. There's no fear. A few hours later, the sun, which symbolizes hope, is gradually rising. The guards are on rounds. But when he came to the man, and this guy's still up, after that, the police never found the whereabouts of the 3. Where they fled to is unknown.